Welcome to Wise Women Wednesday with Brava Women Networking. We're really excited today to have Connie Allie from Enlightened Healing Therapies, who's going to discuss your relationship with money. And the topics will include: what does my ideal life look like? Where do I want to be spending my time? And how close are you to your idea of financial freedom? Connie says that she studied various healing modalities with great teachers, including that of a Reiki Master, emotional freedom technique, and self-directed healing. She is a specialist in uncovering people's limiting financial blocks, incorporating over 20 years as working as a financial advisor in her professional life. Looking forward to hearing from you. Over to you, Connie.
Thank you, Dia. Good morning, everybody. As Dia said, my name is Connie Allie, and I am currently also working as a financial advisor. So the first part of this presentation, the main part, what I will do is put on my financial advisor hat, and we will focus on, I guess, where you want to go in retirement, for example. That's a good way to look at what does your ideal life look like. Why I'm focusing on retirement, it's just a way to actually build wealth. You will see when I actually get to that actual slide of there's different ways to look at retirement. Do you want to just be on a Centrelink pension? Do you want to have a modest retirement or a comfortable one? So taking steps today now will actually change where you fit on that spectrum. So let's start the presentation. Here's a little quote I like. This is by Warren Buffett, who's one of the best inspirational investors in the world. I think he's the 7th richest man in the world. If you don't find a way to make money while you sleep, you'll work until you die. This is where I get to use my financial planning hat and I guess give strategies on how to do that. What I'd like to show you now, I'm just actually going to minimize that little screen, that's better, and move it. This is the ASFA retirement standard, and what it does, it actually shows you what retirement can look like, and they use different age groups. So you can see when you first retire from age 65, I think it is, to age 84, and then the second stream in retirement, which is when you're meeting life expectancy, getting over age 84. But this sort of goes back and shows you what your actual breakdown would be if you wanted a comfortable as opposed to a modest lifestyle, and it'll break down into, you know, what your total weekly expenditure would be. So for example, if you look down here, you can drill down to, you know, your TV, your haircuts, all the rest of it. But if you wanted a comfortable lifestyle as a couple, you would need 1,242 a week. That's 64,000, say 65 to round it up, as a couple for a comfortable retirement for the year, your total annual expenses. I think that's quite conservative if you want to do some overseas trips. But if you wanted a modest, I mean, this isn't even looking at Centrelink, as a couple, you'd need 42,000. If you were single like myself, you would need at least 46,000. So this is for those aged over 85, by the way. When we get to the next slide, you'll see you actually need a bit more than that. Let's go to the next slide, because it does break down what I'm trying to say. If you wanted a comfortable retirement, what does that look like? You've got your top level of private health, you own a reasonable car that you can maintain, regular professional haircuts, for example. So it will break down all the different things if you had that comfortable retirement. You know, you can replace worn out clothing, for example. For the modest lifestyle in comparison, you'd have that basic private health. You would have a cheap older model car, which probably needs more repairs, to be honest, budget haircuts. And as you can see, you'd limited meals, eating out at expensive restaurants. It was very infrequent. Take that to age pension. If you don't save enough for retirement, you'll have no private health insurance. You have to do your own haircut sort of thing. You definitely can't eat out, and you'd have basic clothing, probably op shop clothing. So this is just trying to break down to start planting the seed that you really do have to start saving for retirement. So this actually then shows you what the retirement budget and super balance requirements are. I did go into this a little earlier, but if you look at age 65 to 84, you're spending more. So you actually need more between the ages of 65 to 84, as opposed to my first slide I showed you with this. So a couple would need 71,000 if you round it up. A single would need 50,000 for that comfortable retirement per annum. For that modest in the middle, a couple would need 46,000, a single would need 32,000, rounding up. And then that goes over to age 85 plus, which we looked at earlier. So what does that look like as the actual bulk of it that you would need? The balance required in super? A couple would need, say, rounding up 700,000. Single would need 600,000. I think that's way too conservative. That's for that comfortable, excuse my cough, figure, as opposed to the modest, you'd need 100,000, and same for single. I think that's way too fine. I think you definitely need more than that. Excuse my cough. I'm just going to take a menthol. This is actually a beautiful chart I use in a lot of my one-on-ones with clients when I see clients for financial planning. It actually shows you the share market. If you had $10,000 in 1993, what does that look like today, which we're in 2023? So that's 30 years. If you had $10,000 and you invested it in 1993 in cash, that would now be worth $34,000, $35,000. If you had that in Australian shares, 83,000. If you had that in international shares, 138,000. Sorry, in Australian shares, 138,000, and in US shares, that $10,000 back in 1993 would now be worth 177,000. So you can see this is showing you, using various asset classes, what that value could be depending on the asset class. Now, you can't time the market. You can't tell what is going to be the best performing asset. So what you need to do, and that's where you get that old saying, not to a basket, client or yourself, and see where they felt comfortable. Like, how do they feel during all these moments of volatility? So I like using this chart just to show people that, you know, a lot of older people come in and say, well, I'm about to retire, I just want to put it in cash. And I have to show them if they're going to live the next 30 years, say they're 60 and they live to their 90, whatever that might be. If they put that in cash, they've only made back here that $10,000 is only now worth $34,000. You've got to show them that it's still important to, yes, you're retiring, yes, you don't like volatility, but it's important to have that growth. So this is showing you steps for retirement, like how you can get there. You need to set your retirement goal. What do you want? From the slides I showed you, do you want that comfortable, modest, or Centrelink style of retirement? So then you can calculate what you would need for that, both based on those ASFA figures. So that's the Australian Super Financial Board, or whatever it stands for, sorry. Association of Super Funds of Australia, there you go. We then, from that, we have that goal. We can determine what your monthly annual savings rate would need to be. Now, don't forget, in Australia, I do know some of you are in Singapore, New Zealand, we do have that superannuation guarantee if you're an employee, where you get 10.5% on top of your wage in super. Non-concessional contributions, that's your after-tax contributions. You might get an inheritance or have savings left over. You can put in 110,000 a year to start building that retirement balance. There's bring forward rules. There's all these strategies you can work on with a financial advisor. You can also make concessional contributions up to 27,500. The beauty of these, so if you take away the 10.5%, that's got to be included in this amount. The beauty of this is you get that tax deduction when putting into super. You only charge 15% tax if you're a higher income earner on your marginal tax rate. You might be paying the 30+%. This will bring it down to 15% if you put it into super. We need to review your superannuation account, the vehicle that you're driving. Is it the best one? Is it cheaper to move somewhere else? Does it have all the bells and whistles you need to get you to retirement? And showing you that previous chart, we need to sit down and work out what is your propensity to risk. Where is your risk profile? We need to choose your underlying investments based on that. So that's what a good financial planner would do. They'll actually go and look at all those individual fund managers or direct shares under that, what that basket looks like for you. And then you've got to review it. You've always got to review that annually to see how it's performing. So last year's best performers is not the next year's best performers. And fund managers come and go. The analysts leave, taking all the information and strategy with them. So this is where I'd like to take my business, which is the self-directed healing and the healing modality of financial planning. That's looking at limiting beliefs. So it's a simple, a fast and measurable process. And it gets to the root cause and helps you shift those deep blocks then enable you to start looking at money and wealth differently. So self-directed healing, it looks at all those blocks where you store those beliefs. So it could be, look, anxiety, stress, it stores somewhere in your body. It could be a heap hidden block that you're not even aware of. But self-directed healing helps you bring that to the psyche. It might be going back to that inner child of where that first thought pattern originated. And we work on that, we intensify it, we get it to a point where you're completely uncomfortable, and you have to be uncomfortable to heal it and let it go out your body. What I do like about self-directed healing, because I'm also a Reiki master, it uses various modalities. So Reiki was using energy, and I can still clear energy and do shifting of energy. Coaching, which I'm not a coach, but I am a financial coach, I guess. That's looking at the psychology, which self-directed healing can take into account. And kinesiologists, for example, they tap and they use meridians and your subconscious. So this is using a cross modality. It incorporates all of them. It's the first one I've seen that incorporates all of them. It just combines them all at once, which is beautiful. And the after effect is quite beautiful. It uses your own conscious beliefs, your own beliefs. It uses your own self to heal yourself, which is what I like. You're not continuously needing to use someone else to heal your own self. It's giving you the tools to heal yourself. But like an onion, there's different levels. You might find one root cause of what a limiting belief is, and then you have to go on to what other beliefs there are under that, where you might want to use a self-directed healing practitioner. But I do actually concentrate, my niche is on the financial blocks, because I have spent 20 years sitting in boardrooms discussing with people about their childhoods, where their limiting beliefs come from. So now, just for this session, what I would like to do is just not do an actual healing, but just go through some statements and see how that resonates with you. We're just going to look at some limiting beliefs you might have. So I'm going to just read some statements out. I want you to close your eyes, take a breath, and when I say the statement, see if that resonates with you. I'll read through a few, so hold on to the one you think resonates. I might then read another one that resonates more so. So hold on to that one. And then from that, we'll open our eyes, and then we can look at where we might need to go for healing in future when we do that. So please close your eyes, take a deep breath, move into your body, take another deep breath. I'm going to say, I'm ashamed to have money. Does that feel real for you, true for you? If not, that's okay. We'll move on to the next one. Keep breathing through them. I hate money. Does that feel true for you? I don't deserve money. Money is evil. How many times have we heard that at church? The root of all evil. Does that resonate with you? Money changes people. I don't have enough money. I will never have enough money. I'm scared of money. Or maybe I'm just not valuable. So as you can see, by moving into some of these limiting beliefs, or seeing some of these triggers, or uncovering those limiting beliefs, then we'll be able to go into a healing session where we can see where that first came into effect for you, and we will actually be able to move it and heal it together. So that's a little insight into self-directed healing and how I get to use that with my financial planning, or my financial planning experience for the last 20 years. So thank you, dear.
Thank you so much, Connie. And I will put down in the chat or in the YouTube